wonderful friends and joyful creators. Welcome to 2021. As I mentioned last Friday, there are going to be some exciting changes in this year. So if you are ready to go on a journey of having fun, exploring creativity and crochet, yarn, hooks, and just pure joy, then you have come to the right place. I am so excited about this new year. It's a fresh start, and I will soon be coming up on my 1-year anniversary. So what better way to kind of recreate a little bit of what I tried to establish in 2020, but with a little bit more fun and excitement. So in the past, Wednesday on the Hook has been kind of a little bit of everything, from working on projects that took a little bit of a couple weeks to accomplish, to actually completing projects in one video, to sharing different kinds of stitches in a tutorial. So Wednesday on the Hook kind of started taking a backseat burner when I tried to do tutorials all in one video. And that's a little bit hard when you got a lot going on your channel and you're working full-time in an ER. And, you know, dealing with a new grandbaby and a little bit of health setbacks. So it just kind of was there, but wasn't there. And so not for 2021. Wednesday on the Hook will now be known as Cup to Hook Wednesday on the Hook, and it's going to be just what it says. Wednesday on the Hook. Whatever's on my hook on Wednesdays, then that's what we're going to come together and take a look at. And so if I have some finished objects, I will share them with you, and whatever I'm working on, we'll just take some time and hang out a little bit and work on those projects. So that way I can guarantee that at least 1 hour a week I get to work on whatever brings joy to my heart. So without further ado, let me just show you a couple of the projects that I have been working on during our vacation holidays. The first thing I'm going to pop up here for you on the screen is going to be some pictures, and it is of a little snowman bag that I made for someone, and I just filled it with a lot of little candy treats and chocolates, and yeah, it was fun and exciting. So let's take a pause and take a look at those pictures. Welcome back. So what did you think about those pictures? That little snowman, wasn't it adorable? Well, this I can tell you, it sure brought a smile to the recipient's face, and that's all I needed. It brought a smile to my face to make it, knowing that I was making it for someone special, and then seeing that smile on their face. Oh wow, that's what crocheting is for me. It's just living the joy and sharing the joy. So, if you'll remember, my husband and I went on a trip to Florida to pick up some stuff for our new grandbaby. And on that trip, I started making Little Miss Violet a butterfly. I got everything done except for putting the wings on. And due to just life and holidays and everything going on, that project got put to the wayside. And all I needed to do was attach the wings. Well, guess what? I have finally finished it. And so before I pass it on to little Miss Violet, I'm going to share it with you. So here is my butterfly friend. Isn't that just adorable? And I'm sure that little Miss Violet is going to get lots of love and hugs out of it. How fun. And I can't wait for the day that she gives this little lovey a name. So that is my little butterfly friend that I made for my granddaughter. And then this next project I also made for someone special. My husband and I were walking through the toy department, just, you know, just kind of taking a look. I know little Miss Violet is a little too young for a lot of things in the toy department, but you know, grandparents got to be prepared. So we had to start doing our research and seeing what was out there. And so as we were taking a stroll through the toy department, I put my eyes on something and knew immediately that I had to step out of my comfort zone and make something for this special friend of mine. And so what I found was a little teddy bear. And this particular friend over the years had given me the nickname Teddy Bear. And so when I saw this teddy bear, I thought, I know something I could try to do. And so I got the teddy bear, which kind of propelled me to, I have to follow through. So I did look at several videos, and I did look at, you know, the way I made the hoodies for my children, which I am still currently working on one for my daughter-in-law. Hers is the last before I decide if I'm going to make one for my husband and I, which eventually I will, because they're so fun and they're so easy and quick to make, even though they look like it takes a long time, but they really don't. So what is it? What is so special about this bear? Well, I couldn't give her a naked bear, so I'd have to put some clothes on it. So I am proud to say it took me about 3 weeks of, you can ask my husband, trying and frogging and walking away. Sometimes he would even come take it out of my hands and say, just stop, just walk away. But I'm so proud of what I came up with, and I'm so proud that this outfit is a design that I actually ended up creating, and I'm so proud of the way it turned out, even though, as you will clearly see in a minute, it has its flaws and its imperfections. So yes, I will have to continue tweaking on the pattern to get it just right. And as I show it to you, I'll show you some of the flaws, just because you're my friends and I'm going to be honest. So let me introduce my next completed project. Isn't it adorable? All right, so as you can see, yes, she's wearing a dress, so it is a girl bear, but I obviously will have to work on the collar, the neckline, because one, it's too low, and even if I pull it up, it will go up. I just don't know that it'll stay and lay properly. And I'll have to figure out the collar a little bit better, but I love the little button I put on it, and it kind of helped piece the collar together. And then I'll have to work on the sleeves, because obviously the sleeves are a little bit too small. I don't want to show you the back yet. So, and I don't know if you can tell, but there's a little bit of lace around the sleeves to kind of match the bottom of the dress. And okay, so let's look at the back of the dress. So I have to work on the collar a little bit better, but that's fine. It still turned out well enough for my very first dress, not only ever made, but ever designed. And yeah, you know, working with the hoodies, I don't really put any buttons in, so I didn't prepare ahead of time and put in a buttonhole. So I had to create a little loop. So I don't know if you can see that, but there's a little loop right there that actually attaches to the button. And as you can see, it's kind of pulling down. And again, just like the front, exposing the back of the bear. So need to kind of work on that. And if I do it right, I could actually even, you know, put buttons all the way down so that there's no opening in the back. Unless I was creating like a sundress or something, that might be cute. So, but the hat, I do love the hat. The only thing that I want to tweak different about the hat, you can see that there, is I want to make it big enough that the bear's ears can actually go through the hat and just sit on the head as just the hat on the bear. But because I didn't do that, and time was running short for me to give this bear to its special friend, I just made a little tie. I just braided it. And it just kind of sits around the bear's head to keep it on. But again, for my first attempt at making a hat this size and like this with the brim, which I took the idea from like some little round doilies that I have made before. So I made the hat top just like I would if I were making, you know, some of the hats like I've made for Hat Not Hate and some other folks, Miss Alex. But I just made them smaller. Miss Violet, I've made her a couple hats. I just made it smaller on the top, and then as it started to grow, then like I said, I took the idea of what I've done with some doilies, or like coasters, and created a brim. So I have to work on it, but nonetheless, I'm proud of it. The booties, I took this idea from someone, and so because it is very similar to their pattern, I am going to actually include their link in the description box below, because I 100% believe in giving credit where credit is due. I did do a little bit of tweaking to it a little bit, so it is not quite their design, but it is close enough that, again, I have to be honest, and so I have to give that person credit. So Siren's Crochet is where I got the idea of the booties from. So I will be putting the link to her video and to her channel in my description box, just so that she gets that credit. But everyone who knows me knows that my channel is all about joy. And so joy indeed we want to always promote. So guess what? This is the first official Joy Bear. So if you'll look on the bottom of her booties, it actually says Joy. So she is the first official Joy Bear. So yeah. So I am curious to hear what you have to say. Any advice you can give me on the dress, the buttons, you know, the collar, especially if you are a crochet genius when it comes to making doll clothes. I know Pamela's Adoring Crochet makes a lot, so hopefully she'll see my video and hopefully she will be able to give me some advice. But yeah, I would love any feedback that you have, and maybe how I can do the hat so that the ears can tuck through it. So yeah, I'm excited. But still, for my very first one, I am very pleased, and I think that, you know, she looks great. Now, before I end this with our little joy bear, I have to tell you that the yarn that was used to make all of this came from my sweet friend Kelly Platter, who sent me all of that happy mail not too long ago. Both the peach and the white were yarn that she sent me, and if you'll give me just a second, I'm going to pause this real quick. I'm going to go grab that yarn so I can share with you what the yarn was that I used. So I have the yarn that I used that Kelly sent me, and the main color of the dress was done in this Cascade yarn, Cherub DK. And it doesn't give like a color name, they give like a color number. So it was color number 83. Hopefully that'll focus in for you. And it is 55% nylon, 45% acrylic. It is a 50-gram skein, and it's got 1.75 ounces, which is about 180 yards. It is really, really soft. So, and then the white that I used as like the trim and the bottom of the booties and the rim around the booties is Premier's Bamboo Joy. And this one is a 3.5 ounce skein, which is 328 yards, which is about 100 grams. And it's 50% bamboo and 50% acrylic, and it also is very, very soft. This is a light 3, and it's just called color. The color that it's called is just cream. So, but yeah. So that was the yarn that I used on the Joy Bear. And then of course on the butterfly, that was yarn that came actually from Crochet Society, because that's where that actual pattern came from. So, and then on the snowman, excuse me, all of that was just Red Heart Super Saver yarn. So what is on my hook today? I have been working on trying to finish the hoodie for my daughter-in-law. And so this is the back of her hoodie. These are all done in turquoise colors, which she loves. This is her favorite colors. And so this is a Red Heart variegated yarn called Scuba, is what it's called. So that's the back panel. This is the front panel. And so it's going to have a more feminine look. As you can see, instead of coming all the way up like this hoodie on my hoodie is doing, it's going to have like a V when it's done. But she'll still have a hood on the back of it. And so right now, actually physically on my hook is the sleeve that I've started working on. So I have begun the sleeve. And so that's what I'm going to work on. With you. So go grab your projects, grab a WIP that you're working on, and we'll work together for a little while. Now, I am using a row counter, It is one that I got from Crochet Society. I love it. It's shaped like a rose. Let me see if I can zoom this in so you can see it a little bit better. There we go. And hopefully you can tell on there. It's saying I have 9 rows left. Let's see. There you go. And that is my repeat pattern. My repeat pattern for my sleeve is 3 rows. So I have 9 rows left. So that's actually going to be a total of 27 rows before I'll have to change up the pattern for the rest of the sleeve where it will attach to the hoodie. So that is what I'm going to be working on today. So let me know, what is on your hook? I would love to know. What you are working on. And this entire hoodie, by the way, is done in nothing but single crochets and chain 1 stitches. So it is a very easy, simple pattern. Now this one is a little bit different than the one that I did a tutorial on. The one I did a tutorial on was for my youngest son, and it was in a green and black hoodie, and it was shaped and designed a lot like the cloth one that I'm wearing, where it came all the way to the neck and then the hood, you know, was attached. This one again will be the same thing, but it will have that more feminine V in the front, so it'll be a little bit more open, but nonetheless it will still be very warm and still have the heaviness that the others do. And again, I eventually want to make one for my husband and I. So, and hopefully next year we'll be able to go on our Christmas trip and actually use them, because we like going to Tennessee for Christmas and seeing snow and whatnot and just getting away, even if it's just a couple days. But we actually haven't done that in the last 2 years just because of life. So, but yeah. So I look forward to seeing in the comment sections what you're working on. You can always feel free to send me an email with a picture of what you're working on. And just like that, I have already completed 1 row with you. Now I'm not really sure 100% how I'm going to always do these cup to hook Wednesday on the hook days. As far as just sitting here crocheting, I know that might get a little bit boring. I would eventually like to do this as a live and chit chat with you while we're sitting here working and have a discussion question, kind of like we do on Cup to Hook Conversations. But this way I feel like I am actually sitting around crocheting with you, spending more time with you, getting to know you better. And again, like I said, doing this as a live video would probably give me more of the interaction that I'm looking for. But I have such a crazy schedule, working nights in the ER, and a lot of times when I'm awake, you guys are in bed asleep, as you should be, depending on where you live. It might be morning time for you right now. So, yeah. But right now it's just about getting it started and just spending some time with you. So I am going to pause this for just a minute, refocus and position my camera so that I don't make you dizzy. And that way you can focus a little bit more on what I'm actually doing. Again, this is not designed to be a tutorial. This is just designed to be a little few minutes every Wednesday to sit and share with you what's on my hook and spend a little bit of time with you. So as I finish up this second row, I am going to pause so the video will focus more on what I'm actually making. All right. So now you can see a little bit more of what I'm doing, provided that I hold it up. And I don't have the label on it, but like I said, this is Red Heart Super Saver Scuba, and this is what the skein is looking like. I've got most of it worked up, so as you can see, it's starting to get a little bit loopy. But I have so far made those front and back panels and the start of this sleeve all from the same skein. I'm going to apologize. I'm on my second skein. So it'll definitely take 3 skeins to complete this hoodie. And while my daughter-in-law is definitely medium size, I am making this a large so that one, it's a little bit roomy that she can actually wear, you know, a t-shirt or something else under it if she would like. And again, I'm just doing single crochets, chain 1, skipping a stitch and doing a single crochet, chain 1, skip a stitch and single crochet. And that's what I'm doing all the way across. So it is a very easy stitch, and it creates a nice close knit stitch. So it definitely, you know, will keep the body warm. And I have now created the first or the next pattern, so I'm ready to start another repeat pattern. So I have to move my row counter. I'm actually counting backwards, so I'm now moving it from 9 to 8, so that I now know that I have 8 more of that 3-row repeat pattern to do. So I am going to pause the video for just a minute, and I am going to take a little bit of a break, and I'll come back and join you after I've done a couple more rows. Welcome back. I have continued to work on my sleeve. I'm getting a good bit done. And it looks like I have about 3 minutes left in the hour to crochet, because that was the goal, is to crochet for 1 hour at least every week. And I will pull this down so you can continue to watch me as I crochet. Every week, working on a project of my choice And you can see my laptop there. Kind of push it out the way. And so I have thoroughly enjoyed this time with you. And again, I look forward to seeing in the comments section below what you have been working on as well. Going forward, I hope to possibly find a time that I can actually do this live and we can have a topic of conversation to talk about while we crochet. But to get this started, as an introduction of what is to come, I thought this might be a good way to do that. Nonetheless, your company has allowed me to crochet for 1 hour and get a good bit of this first sleeve done. And that encouragement will certainly allow me to get this hoodie completed and to my daughter-in-law so she can actually use it and wear it. And there is my alarm. Perfect timing as I'm at the end of the row here, trying to get this last stitch in. There we go. So again, this is what I'm completing with. And that is the start. I'll go ahead and turn the alarm off. But this is the start of the sleeve. And as you can see, let me hold it this way, it might show better. As you can see, it's starting to increase. So here's the actual part where the wrist and the hand will go through. And as you can see, it's gradually getting wider to encompass the arm. And again, that's just a single crochet, chain 1, stitch, so that is what was on my hook this Wednesday. And I appreciate you coming and hanging out with me and spending some time. I look forward to doing this every week with you. And who knows, maybe it will help encourage you to pick up a WIP that you're working on and just work on it for an hour as you hang out with me. And I don't know, there was something exhilarating in setting the clock for 1 hour and just knowing that I could just crochet freely, and whatever progress I made would be all done on a project that I was trying to do in my personal time. Because so oftentimes, you know, and I'm sure you're like me with a crazy schedule, you're like, okay, I'm gonna get everything done and then I can just have that time, and sometimes that time just never comes. So excuse me, the idea of being able to actually set 1 hour aside to just do that free crochet was really rejuvenating. And with it being on Wednesday and being the, you know, the hump of the week, how encouraging that is. So yeah, I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule and meeting me midweek to just have 1 hour of free crochet to just relax, chill and not worry about anything and just focus on just pure, joyful creating and crocheting. So I hope you'll join me next Wednesday. And true to form, it is a Cup to Hook series. So next Wednesday, I will have something special in a very special cup. And I look forward to hanging out with you and seeing what's on your hook and showing you what's on mine. So again, thank you for this, non-stressful, fun 1 hour of free crocheting. Well, take care, guys. Be joyful. Stay crafty in your own way, always, and make your own joyful creations. Bye.